Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and CA just put out their Lizardmen cinematic trailer, and it is freaking awesome. They do state here that it uses in-engine footage, so this looks very much like the models, and the terrain is just breathtaking. Obviously I don't expect to see that much detail, but it does allude to the drastic shift in art style and a lot of new things that we'll be seeing. The context for this shows Mazamundi here talking about the Great Purpose, which an article online was basically just saying this is essentially the Lizardmen's driving force, which involves wiping out everyone who is in a Lizardmen, paving a way for their supremacy. Next, we get an awesome screenshot here of what was talked about in the trailer as the Fallen Gates, and on CA's website they say these are the Cosmic Gates, an ancient device that can open a portal into the realm of chaos. So this is obviously going to tie into the vortex mechanic, whereby you have to do various rituals and do various things, progress in stages to either take down or secure the vortex. What's particularly interesting in this kind of context is that it perhaps means that not only are you doing certain quests, but you may actually have to hold key locations like the Cosmic Gates. Perhaps you have to hold this for the entirety of the time, and it can switch hands and set you back in your attempt to either, secure or take away the vortex. And what's interesting is that might even make factions that would otherwise have the same interest of saving the vortex fight one another. In this case, the High Elves and the Lizardmen are competing both to kind of preserve the vortex, but I guess in their own way. So this might be a mechanic for otherwise aligned factions to fight each other. That being said, it could also be some sort of quest battle that's specific to the ongoing story of the vortex, as opposed to just a standard city that you could fight on. That would trade hands. Perhaps it's just a one-off quest battle. But anyways, I'm really liking the design of here, the awesome kind of Aztec stuff taken to the extreme with the fantasy, a choke point bridge battle, but nonetheless very focused. And yeah, I do hope to see a lot more battles like this. It does allude to something that we'll see in sieges. Now this is a great overhead shot because we get to see a lot of cool stuff. So from the top left we can see Cold One Riders. There's a couple of units of those sprinkled around. They seem very, very large actually, and the unit models are huge. The big clusters of dense infantry are going to be the Saurus Warriors. I would have thought those were Skinks, but another image later will confirm that these are Saurus Warriors. The Skinks are actually going to be in the center. They're a bit smaller noticeably. I would have thought the sizes would have been inverse, so that's kind of interesting. The flying units there are Pterodon Riders that can drop kind of bombs or big stones onto the enemy. At the bottom there you can see a Carnosaur who's actually unmounted, so we can have lone Carnosaurs. And on the top right you can see a Bastillodon with a solar engine, and then also a Bastillodon who's unequipped. So he'll just come in with the Wrecking Ball, and presumably there's like upgrades you can give them, which is the solar engine, and then the yet confirmed Ark of Sotek, I believe it's called, which dispenses snakes. But anyways, this is cool. It starts to show us the various size discrepancies of the units. Again, I'm a little confused about the idea that the Skinks are a smaller unit. I would have thought they would be rather large. Here's another screenshot taken at a kind of a different angle as the Lizardmen approach the Elven battle lines, and you still see the Bastillodon unequipped, the Skinks, the Saurus Warriors a bit more obvious, but take a look at the center left. That's actually going to be a Stegodon, a Triceratops, charging at the lines of the Wood Elves. Later on we'll get to see an image or a little bit of a shot of it kind of wreaking havoc in the ranks. But yet again, this is another cool screenshot, and I love the detail on the ground. These maps are going to be a blast to play on. Well, at least eye candy enough. Yeah, but that's it. So I do presume the Skinks there will be seeing various models. This could be a smaller model that's maybe associated with the Skinks having, projectiles. It could be the chameleon Skinks. Maybe that's why they're a little bit smaller, but it was hard to confirm from this angle. Now we get to see some of the Wood Elf shots. This one here is going to be obviously confirming the repeater bolt thrower. I believe on the tabletop it had 6 bolts, whereas here it has 20 arrows, which is pretty awesome. This guy is supposed to fire very rapidly, have a quick reload rate, and it fires clusters of shots. So presumably you're going to be using this to target dense infantry formations, knock out huge swaths of them, or with repeated fire try and take down big beefy units, which is obviously going to be key if you're going to be fighting against the Lizardmen, who are particularly large and have some really meaty tanky monsters. In the background you can also see some of the High Elf Spearmen with different emblems on their shields, looking very glorious, and everything looks very regal on these guys. Also notice little clusters of shots flying through, and then here wanted to pause again. You can just see the Stegodon attack in the center, bowling over units. On the right hand side, kind of in the foreground, the High Elf Prince or a lord of some sort. He's the general, and then on the left we do see some high elf spearmen that we saw previously, but what's interesting is it seems like they're bracing, so this could either just be kind of their pose, their generic pose, when enemies are near, or perhaps it could indicate at a spear wall the introduction of formations for different units. I've seen modders try and attempt it, so it's definitely possible. We've seen it in previous Total Wars, but it seems like Warhammer has kind of moved away from it. This could be an indication that the High Elves, which are known for their discipline and strong infantry, may have, you know, a certain unlock for something like the spear wall. Perhaps this is, you know, unit formations and something they'll be pulling in to Total Warhammer 2, but again, that's just, there are many other reasons that they could have been posing like that. It could have been just something that the model does when enemy units get close, kind of like what Empire Halberds. Look at the background there, you can see the Stegodon tearing it up. That was pretty dope. And then here we see the High Elf Eagles pursuing the Lizardmen up in the skies. They seem very reminiscent of Avatar. I'm pretty sure they looked at that for reference. So that was kind of funny. This next shot here has a couple interesting units. In the center, the High Elf Mage. On the right, the High Elf Prince. In the back, the Sword Masters dual wielding their big swords. And then on the bottom right, you can see an axe, and that is generally associated with the White Lions. And we'll actually be seeing the White Lions in another shot, but this is the first kind of little glimpse of them that we do see. So yeah, High Elves obviously going to have some very fantastic units. Hard to take down, but then again, you're facing dinosaurs. Aztec dinosaurs, I should say. So nonetheless, they are falling, as can be seen by the bodies in the middle ground of that shot. Gonna get a magical bolt, kind of wasted against a flying unit that has already expensed its explosive device. So a bit of a waste for the elves, but nonetheless, I guess they're a new player. And there you can see in the background the white elves, the White Lions jogging by. Here he's about to try and get an execution kill, and then as with any Hollywood moment, he gets attacked by something larger. So here we get to see Krokgar looking awesome, and then a Bastiladon in the background there, unequipped with anything, and then a Carnosaur in the back right as well. So this is an epic shot of Krokgar here charging forward, as well as the other Lizardmen. They're going to have so much to punch through the front lines. You're going to have to kite these guys to death. It's going to be insane. But yeah, the unit model on this guy looks absolutely glorious. They did say this is in-game kind of renders of the units, so definitely the art has been painstakingly worked on. Look at the skulls chained to his little throne there, and it looks like he has a bit of a wind blast when he roars. So that's it for the video analysis that I was able to put together. Definitely stay tuned for more. I'm sure CA will be dropping more news in the near future, and yeah, a lot more hints and follow-ups. But that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more, and let me know if I missed anything in those shots that you guys were able to find out. This has been my summary. Hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. I will be having a Moments series preview coming out really soon, so stay tuned for that as well. See you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and peace out.